There was a time in my life where I was going to the club every single weekend. It even got to the point where we were starting to go 2 or 3 times in a week. At first I had a great time. For the first few weeks I was having the time of my life. Every time I went out I felt like I was making new memories I'll cherish for the rest of my life. But as time went on and as the weeks went on, I started realizing that I was forcing myself to go on these night outs. I wasn't enjoying any of the club nights that we were going on, but I still forced myself to go out every single week. The simple explanation to why I was doing this was because I fell into a trap that a lot of other people fall into. I was telling myself that this is the youngest I'll ever be and I'm in university right now, so I should go out every week. There were times where my friends would call me up and ask me if I wanted to go out and I would say no, but they would just say, come on bro, let's just do it, you're in university. And those few words would change my mind every single time and I'll decide, fuck it, let's just go. When it comes to an activity like clubbing, what even is the point of doing it if you're not enjoying it? If you enjoy clubbing, then go clubbing, you know, that's completely fine. But I wasn't enjoying it at all and I was still forcing myself to go, which is just so stupid when I think about it now. I'm also not trying to be a finance bro and say that going to a club is a bad investment because it has low ROI. But it is somewhat true. I was spending so much money every single weekend and I wasn't getting anything out of it. At the least, if I was enjoying myself, then I guess the money would be worth it. But the truth is, I just wasn't. So it was just a waste of time, waste of money, and I don't know why I did it. One reason to why I think I stopped enjoying going to the club is because I'm just getting older. I think for the majority of people, the older you get, the less appealing a club seems. I mean, if you're watching this and you're 35 and you still love going on night outs, then fair enough, you know, like you do you. But I'm just speaking from personal experience, my friends' experiences, and people that I just know that are a bit older. I've noticed that recently I enjoy going to the bar a lot more than the club. This is only if we've decided that we are gonna drink alcohol. Like if we don't have to drink alcohol, then I'll choose not to. I just think bars are better because you can actually listen to what your friends are saying. At the club, most of the time, you can't really hold a conversation, you know. But also, don't get me wrong, if a friend invites me to the club in a few days, I most likely will go. I don't hate the idea of clubs or anything, and I'm not saying that I'm never gonna go again. I'm going home in a week's time, and I haven't been home in a very long time, meaning I haven't seen those friends in a very long time. So I think going to the club would be a great activity that we could do to catch up. Well, not catch up because I just said you can't really speak in there, but I just think it would be a good fun thing to do. Obviously, it won't be the first thing we do when we see each other, but I just think, you know, a club night would be great. I also haven't been to the club in like 3 months, so I would not mind going to the club right now. But the reason why clubbing sounds appealing to me now compared to university is simply because I'm not forcing myself to go this time. When I was a lot younger and I only had been to the club a few times in my life, the idea of clubbing was so sick because we would only go to celebrate things. We would go to celebrate someone's birthday, we would go to celebrate the end of school, and if I end up going to the club when I see my friends again, I would be celebrating seeing my friends after a very long time. You could say that we placed clubbing on a pedestal. It was almost like we had to earn it to go clubbing, so it was obviously very different compared to university where I was just forcing myself to go every single week. And as me and my friends get older, I think we are slowly reverting back to the good old days. We seriously don't go to the club often at all anymore, and we only go when, you know, all the boys are together. Or even if it's not for a special event and it's just like a random night, we make sure that no one's forcing themselves to go. I remember last year of university, we were almost treating the club like a Snapchat streak. I'm sure you guys have heard about streaks on Snapchat, and I'm sure you have some sort of experience with streaks on Snapchat. You know, the idea is pretty cool. You just send each other snaps every single day and you see how many days you can go. But in my school, it got so bad where we were sending each other snaps of just black screens just to make sure our streak doesn't die. And that's the exact same feeling as forcing myself to go to the club every single week. There were so many times where I wasn't down to go or another friend wasn't down to go, but the other people that really wanted to go would just be like, come on bro, we can't break our streak. That obviously wasn't like a major reason to why we used to go to the club, but there was definitely some peer pressure behind all that. There were some weeks where I really didn't want to go and my friends would say, we're not going to go to the club without you. And that's just a straight up peer pressure technique. I didn't want to be the reason to why they don't end up going to the club. So I used to just think to myself like, fuck it, why not? One night is not going to hurt. There was this one time last year where one of my friends had an assignment due at midnight. That night, the rest of the group really wanted to go out, but for some reason this group never wanted to go if everyone wasn't going. So even though this guy had an assignment due, he just submitted like some shit work and just decided, fuck it, let's go out. And that's crazy. Being in that environment made him prioritize going on a night out over his assignment. When you're in university, you should never prioritize going on a night out over your work. You're literally paying the university to do the work. What the fuck just hit me? Holy shit, bro. That's what the fuck, bro? What? Why were we fighting in the air? Okay, get fucked, kid. But because he was so used to that toxic environment, he decided he just didn't want to disappoint anyone, so he went on a night out instead. And things like this would happen every single week, which explains why we were forcing ourselves to go. Wait a minute, I have not done something right here, I don't think. Fuck, I made it 1 block too wide, bro. Fuck. Oh my god, that is actually so annoying. Holy shit. Another reason to why I stopped enjoying going to the club is the fact that we used to go every single week to the same club with the same group of people. It just got really boring really quick. I'm sure you can imagine. We used to go with 4 people, so yeah, it was a pretty small group. We also went on a Friday every single week instead of switching it up, which meant that we had to listen to the same music every single week. And you know, I think I would be completely fine with that if it was music that I liked, but it wasn't even music that I liked. So just all of that combined just made me get really bored of it. In contrast, in the first few weeks at university, I had the best time in my life going to the club. I'm talking about my first year now. The last thing I was talking about was my second year. We were probably going like 3 or 4 times a week, but we were going to different clubs. I was going with different people, different size groups, and you know, it was actually a good time. This only lasted lasted a few weeks though, and I'm very grateful that it was only a few weeks. I feel like if that shit went on for any longer, I was gonna fucking die. I don't think anyone should be drinking that much alcohol. It's actually crazy, bro. Also, really quick, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because we're closing into 1,000 subscribers, and that would be really cool. I want to quickly give you a run through of each club night in second year because they all look the exact same. Every single Friday, I'll get a call from the exact same friend. This would always be at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. You know, I'd already be getting ready for bed, and I would get a call telling me, yo, let's pull up to the club tonight, bro. Then we would start negotiating like crazy. I'd always be like, no, I don't want to go out tonight. They'll be like, nah, come on, bro, it's just tonight. Then I'll always somehow be convinced, and I'll end up going to their house within the hour. We would always do our pre-game or have our pre-drinks at the exact same place every single week. We would also play the exact same drinking games every single week. We would then make our way to the club at around midnight. We would get in and we would rush towards the bar, and we would just stay at this bar for hours. For some reason, even though we did pre-drinks, we would always be sober for the first few hours in the club. So none of us would be dancing or, you know, even like bobbing our heads or anything. Instead, we would just have a cup in our hand and we would just be standing there in silence until around 1 a.m, which would be the point where we would be on the border of blacking out. Then the club would close at 3 a.m, and we would just make our way back to where we were having pre-drinks. I'm not even joking, every single weekend looked like that. So I'm sure you can understand how I got bored really quick. Also, the fact that I was only super close to one of these people and I wasn't really close to the other two is definitely a big factor to why I wasn't enjoying my time as well. I feel like if you replace those two people with people that I'm really close to, then I would enjoy those nights. But don't get me wrong, if I went to the club every single week, even with my close friends, I would hate it at some point. It's just an activity that I don't enjoy much anymore, and I can't really do anything about that. I think I fixed this, by the way, but I'm gonna quickly jump down to go get all the blocks. I've definitely had club nights in my life where I've been with friends, but we've still had a really bad time. Being with my best friends does not guarantee having a good time when I'm at a club. Honestly, if it was any other activity, I think I could have a good time even if it seems shit on the surface. There's just one specific club night that comes to mind when I think about being with my friends and it's still being shit. This story took place when a few of our friends decided to go visit another friend. We were super hyped because we hadn't seen each other in a very long time, and we decided we were gonna go to the club that night. We were drinking beforehand and that was such a good time. But when we got to the club, it was completely empty. It was only us and just a few other people. We didn't let that stop us from having fun. You know, the drinks were still super cheap, so we were having a great time. But that only lasted like an hour. After that, we didn't really know what to do, so we just decided to go home. But on the other hand, I've definitely had some amazing club nights as well. Around the start of summer last year, a lot of my friends and I decided to meet up at a club because we just hadn't seen each other all year. We were at different universities all over the world, so we didn't have many opportunities to see each other. So we decided, let's have a good time and let's go to the club, and that's exactly what we did. And that night was probably one of the best nights of my life. That club had amazing music, the vibes were just right, you know, like everything was going well. Every single one of us wanted to be there, none of us were forcing each other to go, so you know, it's actually a good time. I think the main reason to why I don't enjoy clubs anymore is just because I seriously overdid it when I was younger. But hey, I wouldn't say I regretted it, because a lot of the times I was actually having a good time. But it just got really bad when I was forcing myself to go when I didn't want to go. You know, if there were like some actual benefits to going to the club, then I guess it would make sense to force yourself. When I say this, I'm talking about like forcing yourself to go running. You know, if you force yourself to go on that run, then there's obvious health benefits that you gain from that. But forcing yourself to go to the club just gives you liver damage, and it really hurts your bank account. Trust me, I'm saying that from personal experience. That shit hurts. But it is what it is. I can't live life with regrets, so you know, whatever, it's fine. I wanted to end this video by talking about one of my friends. I have this one friend that loves going to the club so much. If it was up to him and if all of his friends were down, I think he would genuinely go 4 times a week. I also guess if he had like unlimited money, because he obviously doesn't have that. He actually just loves partying so much, and I respect it, honestly. He's the type of guy that has a good time even on a shit night. The rest of the people that went can agree that it was a really bad night, but he would still have had a great time, which you seriously can't hate on. You just have to respect that. Let's just say he does have a little bit too much fun, because every single night he ends up blacking the fuck out. But hey, even when he's blacked out, he's a great person to be around. After saying all that though, I'm definitely gonna be in a club in a week's time, so it is what it is. If you ended up enjoying this video, please do leave a like and subscribe, and if you're still watching till now, you're definitely enjoying it, so you might as well click on the video that just popped up. Or don't, it's obviously up to you. Thank you guys for watching and have a great night. Peace.